The parties of City on the Hill, California took very different paths today immediately following leadership elections as the Patriot Party's executive board attempted an unprecedented coup against the party. Tonight, how daring leadership, swift resolve, and a touch of trickeration saved the Patriot Party from complete obliteration. While on the other side of the aisle, the Constitutionalists declared war on the specter of a third party associated with communism. Finally, is Speaker Hansen a do-nothing leader or a man selflessly working hard behind the scenes for the benefit of others? It's all right here on the #1 television show for City on the Hill News. The COTH Report starts now. Build them up and knock them down. No sooner had the Patriot Party elected its leadership today than it found itself scrambling for its very life. Hello everyone, I'm Joel Reedy and you're watching the COTH Report for July 16th, 2014. The Constitutionalists and Patriots joined in their respective caucuses today to elect their leaders, have their whips chosen, and also see who would join their executive boards. But within several hours of choosing executive board, the Patriot Party found itself in a battle royale between a coup started by executive board members and the party leadership. The Patriot Party's platform boldly claims that the party exists to perpetuate the American Revolution. But today, the Patriot Party underwent its own revolution, barely staving off disaster in the form of a massive, unauthorized money transfer by members of its executive board. The matter came to the attention of Patriot leaders and the press when the check bounced and the Patriot leadership was sent scrambling. Assemblyman Daniel James, Tyler Gilliland, and Assemblywoman Anastasia Newsma attempted to transfer the entire war chest of the Patriot Party to a political action committee named Six Pack. Fortuitously for the Patriots, these three executive board members failed to follow protocol in calling for a meeting of the board, and the transfer was invalid. In the hectic moments following, Chairman Gilliland attempted to call a meeting of the board, but Assemblywoman Aguirre took off before she could be formally notified and was nowhere to be found. The remainder of the executive board tried to explain their actions.
It's you. It's all you.
I did not make this decision.
It's all him.
The decision to call this meeting was his decision, as well as the meeting to actually execute this plan was done by Solomon Chen, I believe.
What plan?
Well, to save orphan children.
Anastasia, what plan are we talking about?
No comment.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So, do you think your party is going to appreciate that you were silent at a time when you could have exposed the plot? If this is something that you think your party should know about, this is a good time to let them know.
Our party has turned its back on us, so we have turned our back on our party.
What does that mean?
For their own safety.
Why have they turned their back on you?
It's because Daniel can explain.
I don't think Daniel's going to explain. Why don't you tell me about it?
Oh.
So this all started with a little joke that Assemblyman James came up with several days ago. But now people have misconstrued that into thinking that we're forming a behind-the-scenes, dirty backstabbing third party.
Do you think that has something to do with your attempt to
I'm gonna
transfer
finish. So firstly,
$55,000
they're
out
trying
of your bank account? Is that why people are misconstruing?
There was no
the
official
joke?
attempt.
No.
There was no official paper.
There was an official attempt.
Actually,
there was no meeting, so it wasn't
that is
official.
specifically why
But
I
you
have
did
chosen.
try, you're saying?
No, we didn't
But
try
that was
yet.
after they had already stabbed us in the back.
What do you mean there was no meeting, so it wasn't official?
The meeting is yet to happen, so we'll talk about
So
that
you're
like
going
a board
to try
does.
to transfer that money?
No, actually we're going to decide over the course. That could be one of the options on the table for their own safety.
So you're willing to, for their own safety, so you're going to steal their money to keep them safe?
Steal, no, because it's also our money. We're the executive board.
Yeah.
So it's your money as the executive board, not the
It's
party
also
money.
ours as well as theirs.
I believe that I and the board, we have done nothing wrong, but we have been misunderstood, and I see no reason to do anything
So what are you going to do to
That
fix that
questionable
misunderstanding?
I'm going to meet with them and explain truthfully and clearly exactly what has happened, and as logical human beings, they are sure to understand.
The new executive board.
What is your response to what's been going on with your executive board right now?
Oh, we got a new one.
You got a new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are the new
It's
executive
How did you do that?
Well, we had the majority vote, so.
So you called a meeting of everyone in the party?
We called a caucus.
Paxton did.
And everyone was present?
Everybody was present. Everybody heard that we were having a caucus.
Yeah.
Everyone
Including
was notified
them.
that you're having a caucus?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you voted out all 5 members, even those who
All
opposed?
4. We
All
voted
4
them
except-
4. Alana is still a board member.
Alana is the only one so far who has actually done
Now, while we're
leave
talking
the
about
meeting.
rules, how do you feel about the fact that you just tried to transfer $55,000 of the party's money out of its bank account without properly calling a meeting?
Okay,
Are you
well,
concerned about that?
well, no, because the premise of that question is that I tried to do that, which I didn't. Next question. Yet despite these bold denials, Assemblyman Gilliland's signature was clearly on the attempted transfer order.
I have heard about it, but I have not participated in any way.
and I have not seen the paper and do not feel comfortable commenting further on that.
Meanwhile, the Patriots called an emergency caucus, impeached the entire executive board with the exception of Igeri, and replaced them. The City Central Bank just reported that a proposal was submitted to transfer the entirety of the Patriot Party's funds into a separate bank
It was just a
account.
proposal.
Well, it was voted on, though, by 3 of your board
By the
members,
3 board members.
which, though it was procedurally unsound, would have passed. So what do you have to say to that?
No comment.
What about the rest of you? Are you okay with the fact that your party is now attempting to...
We officially have no comments, so you can just, turn that off.
What followed was insanity and, well...
Chaos, but yeah, mostly chaos. It's very confusing. I'm not completely sure from a legal perspective about everything that just happened. I wasn't in communication with all of the board members at all times.
Speaker Hansen praised Majority Leader Rutledge's leadership today and expressed his unwavering support for the party.
He is doing a great job of putting us back together. He has a plan of which he's going to share with us. He's taking suggestions from worthy advisors, and yeah, the majority party just hit a little bump in the road. Nothing really bad has happened to us yet.
Constitutionalist leaders calmly took advantage of the Patriot meltdown today, inviting Patriots to begin caucusing with them.
I would love to reach out to Patriots, and if they would be willing to compromise and just let their conscience tell them what is right and what is wrong to vote for.
Igeri and Speaker Hansen now maintain that the violently visible kerfuffle is over. Are you concerned about the fissures that are showing up in the Patriot Party? Do you think that this is healable and reconcilable at this point?
Absolutely. The people in my party they're great. And this is a game, and everyone's having a lot of fun with it. I do believe that certain actions are inappropriate, but they can be addressed. We're still all friends, and we can totally work this out.
We got past our problem. We were able to take counter action against the 4 people who were involved in the undermining for our group.
While the Patriot Party was tearing itself apart in the midst of the coup, across the hall, the contrast with the Constitutionalists could not have been sharper. Anthony Rollins tonight brings us a special report on the Constitutionalists and how they're preparing their agenda for Sacramento this week. If the Patriot Party's experience today read like a Shakespearean tragedy, the Constitutionalists responded with a thespian eloquence of dynamic proportions. A press conference by Constitutionalist leaders today brought a clear agenda for the Constitutionalist Party and a clear condemnation of third-party communist activity.
We firmly believe in the Constitution, and this is what unifies us together.
With that said, it's the reason that we will be rejecting any third parties such as Hydra or Juice Pack or any third parties that jeopardizes the Constitution of the United States.
The McCarthyian players went on to elucidate the finer points of the Constitutionalist platform and explain the party's stance on upcoming legislation.
Prohibits the abortion for women who intend simply to abort their children because they do not like their gender.
Help our brave men and women across the world who are fighting in the battlefields.
We also approve of SB 565. This bill makes it illegal for a school to hire someone with a criminal record unless they are a parent of a current student.
We are spending over $7 billion in textbooks alone, and those textbooks are 7 to 10 years late. These digital formats will be available to update, and that way we can keep our generation bright.
I believe we are more unified than the Patriot Party right now, and that gives us an upper hand if we stay unified, and this week we just keep together and move in goals that we're trying to accomplish of getting our bills passed.
Late-breaking news this evening puts the Constitutionalists one vote closer to their goals, as Governor England has announced a Constitutionalist Assemblywoman has just been appointed to fill a vacancy left open from last session. For CBC News, I'm Anthony Rollins. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station.
California is wild, beautiful, and free, where we relax, enjoy peace and solitude, and spend time with our friends. But there is a blight on this landscape that threatens to suffocate the natural beauty of our state: the plastic bag. In a world gone plastic, let's keep California classic. Call your assemblyman in support of SB 270 today.
From the dawn of time, there has been water. It sustains life and quenches thirst. But the corporations turned it into something unpure, defiled, polluted, filled with sugar. They added chemicals, altered its makeup, changed its very nature into something unthinkable. The dangers are high, but awareness is none. Support SB 1000 to require corporations to tell the truth about soda. Paid for by sugar opponents defending America.
Welcome back. So where does all this political struggle leave City on the Hill, California? After the dust settled, several things were unclear, and we sent out the CBC News team to take a look at what the situation looks like on the ground. The day's hectic events brought about all sorts of questions and now brings about confusion over where the lines over future speaker battles will take place. Juice PAC, which has alternatively represented itself as such organizations as Six PAC and Hydra, has made clear that it expects to be a force in City California politics. But pollster and constitutionalist political legend Evan Gillespie didn't hesitate to express total contempt for the Juice PAC scheme, which he disparages as nothing more than a pathetic scam.
This is nothing more than a pyramid scheme. They're simply drawing funds away from individuals into a collective fund so that they can have more power over the rest of the assembly members.
Speaker Hansen sees his involvement with the organization that just attempted to destroy his party as humorous.
No, I was a part of a joke. It's like being a part of a parody. It's the evil organization. It was supposed to be funny.
Majority Leader Rutledge expressed his support for Speaker Hansen on the front end of an exclusive interview with CBC this evening.
He is part of our party, so I support him in that fact.
Critics have called Speaker Hansen's leadership style lazy and have criticized him for his do-nothing administration. Speaker Hansen responded to these criticisms forcefully today.
I'd say they would have to come from people who aren't watching me, to be honest. I've actually been very involved in my party. I've been trying to solve issues, try to restore bonds that we had before this all happened.
Whatever actions on behalf of the party that Speaker Hansen was referring to, Majority Leader Rutledge made it clear that he was unaware of Hansen's work for the Patriot Party.
Well, unless he really voiced exactly what those actions were that the other people weren't watching, then I don't think so, because if he was taking action, I think it would be obvious.
Information surfaced today that Speaker Hansen has donated his entire personal income to Juice PAC. When Majority Leader Rutledge learned of this donation, his support for the Speaker quickly crumbled.
I wasn't aware of that, but if he did, I support him as in our party, but I do not think that he is being as good of a leader as I would hoped he would. There might possibly be some overthrowing or vacating in the chair later, but we'll see what happens.
Well, that's your City on the Hill news for July 16th, 2014. But join us tomorrow night as we take a look at the results of the governor's ethics investigation and also see which party is able to pull itself together in the wake of all the proceedings today.